British Columbia is Canada's westernmost province. It's bordered by the Alaskan Panhandle, the Yukon, and the Northwest Territories to its north, and by Washington, Idaho, and Montana to the south. The Canadian province of Alberta lies to its east, and the Pacific Ocean lies to its west. The province is incredibly diverse geographically. It's home to towering mountains, ancient temperate rainforests, rolling grasslands, lush valleys, thousands of lakes, glaciers, rivers, and even deserts. Topographically, it's an extremely mountainous province, with mountains covering up to 75% of the entire surface area. All of this means that British Columbia is home to some interesting geography. So in this video, let's discuss 10 interesting facts about British Columbia's geography. This is Ali, and welcome back to Urban Atlas. Now, British Columbia is the third largest province in Canada, sitting just behind Quebec and Ontario. It covers a total area of 944,000 square kilometers, which is 364,000 square miles. But again, that's just a number. What does that mean when comparing it to other provinces or other countries? And that leads us to fact number 1 about British Columbia, which is the fact that British Columbia is about 4 times the size of Great Britain, meaning Canada's third largest province and 5th largest political entity when comparing it to provinces and territories, is still 4 times larger than the entirety of Great Britain. Now, if that doesn't illustrate the true size of Canada, I don't know what will. A country that's similar in size to the province of British Columbia is the country of Nigeria in Africa. Interestingly, the country of Nigeria has over 230 million residents, meaning British Columbia, which is a province with a population of approximately 5 million, is about the same size as a country with a population of over 230 million, which illustrates 2 things: just how large British Columbia is and how empty it is. But despite being sparsely populated, British Columbia is home to one of Canada's largest metropolitan cities. And that brings us to fact number 2. You see, the population of British Columbia is highly centralized. And that's because half of all British Columbians live in the metropolitan area of Vancouver. The third largest metropolitan area in Canada, Metro Vancouver has a population of 2.6 million as of 2021, while the entire province of British Columbia only has a population of approximately 5 million. Hypothetically speaking, if we remove the population of Vancouver from British Columbia, the province would only have a population density of approximately 2.8 persons per square kilometers, which would be similar to countries like Australia. And in my opinion, one of the main reasons why people are moving to Vancouver is because of its climate. And that brings us to fact number 3. You see, among all provinces and territories of Canada, British Columbia has the mildest climate. And this is evident by the fact that it has the longest frost-free periods in Canada, and flowers often start blooming as early as February. In fact, when we look at cities like Victoria, depending on the classification used, Victoria classifies as a warm summer Mediterranean climate, and it's one of the only few communities within Canada that actually have this classification when it comes to its climate. And this mild climate leads us to fact number 4. You see, because it has a mild climate, British Columbia's conditions are very favorable for the growing of fruit. And because of this, British Columbia is one of the top 3 producing regions of cranberries and blueberries in the entire world. In fact, when it comes to blueberries, British Columbia accounts for over 95% of the country's blueberry production, while the southwestern portion of the province has an almost Mediterranean-like climate. The same cannot be said about the northwestern part of the province. And that leads us to fact number 5. You see, on British Columbia's central coast lies the city of Prince Rupert, and Prince Rupert has been given the title of Canada's wettest city by the Weather Network. And that's because Prince Rupert averages approximately 239 days of rain per year, which amounts to over 2,593.6 millimeters of rain per year. That means it rains in Prince Rupert approximately 65% of the time. And Prince Rupert's heavy rainfall is primarily due to the fact that it's located within a temperate rainforest. And that brings us to fact number 6. British Columbia is home to the Great Bear Rainforest, which is a temperate rainforest that stretches along the coast, comprising of approximately 6.4 million hectares, and is part of the larger Pacific Temperate Rainforest ecoregion, which is the largest coastal temperate rainforest in the entire world. And this is one of the most biodiverse regions of Canada, and it's the only place on the planet where you can find the Kermode bear, also known as the spirit bear, which is a subspecies of a black bear that carries a recessive gene that gives it white fur, making it look like a smaller polar bear. However, it is believed that only 400 spirit bears exist now in the world. However, the good news is that the majority of their habitat is actually protected under the Great Bear Rainforest Act. Now for fact number 7, we head off the mainland of British Columbia to a large island, that being Vancouver Island. This is actually the largest island by land area and population along the west coast of the Americas. It's home to a population of 864,000 residents, and nearly half of that actually live in the Victoria metropolitan area. Interestingly, the southern part of Vancouver Island are home to the Gulf Islands, which are the only parts of British Columbia or Western Canada that lie south of the 49th parallel. And as I previously mentioned, this is one of the warmest areas of Canada. It's warm enough to grow crops such as olives and lemons. Vancouver Island is Canada's 11th largest island and the second most populous island. Surprisingly, the most populous island in Canada is actually the island of Montreal. Now for fact number 8, we head back to mainland British Columbia. We head away from the coast and more into the interior of the province. And here we can find the location of Canada's highest ever recorded temperature. You see, back on June 29th, 2021, the town of Lytton in British Columbia recorded a temperature of 49.6 degrees Celsius, making this the highest ever temperature recorded in Canadian history. And this is also the highest temperature ever recorded north of the 45th parallel. Surprisingly, Lytton has recorded a higher temperature than all but 4 US states, those being Arizona, California, New Mexico, and Nevada. Now for fact number 9, we continue heading east, close to the Alberta border. And here we can find the world's longest free ferry ride, that being the Kootenay Lake Ferry. Now this large ferry operates between Balfour on the west side of Kootenay Lake and Kootenay Bay on the east side. Now it's only an 8-kilometer ride and it carries both passengers and vehicles. The ferry offers beautiful views of Kootenay Lake and the surrounding mountains. Now for the final fact, fact number 10, let's head back west to Vancouver Island. And here we can find the tallest trees in all of Canada. In particular, this is where we can find the Chihuahua Giant. Now, it's actually a bit unclear as to what the tallest tree in Canada is, but many consider the Chihuahua Giant the tallest one in Canada. It's a western red cedar tree that grows on the western end of the Pacific Rim National Park Reserve. The tree measures over 6 meters in trunk diameter and 56 meters in height. And I'm sure seeing this tree in person would be a sight to behold. And there you have it. Those are 10 interesting facts about British Columbia's geography. And as always, if you like content like this, remember to subscribe to my channel. It helps me stay motivated to keep making awesome content like this for you guys. If you like the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.